Hello and welcome to another talk here. This next tune we're going to work on here is one that was requested by one of our members. It's called Atras da Porta, which I think means across the door or behind the door or something like that. So we're going to do a little playing. To start us out, and this tune is really new for me, so I'm going to be reading on this one today. I don't think I will play the melody, but I'll kind of do some improvisation over it. We'll do some analysis. So we'll just kind of go along. I think one pass through the overall scheme of things. I am going to include the intro in this, so hopefully everything sounds pretty good here. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I had the mic muted there for a second. So just mark that in. So sounded like it worked out pretty well. So I just kind of like barely had got all this backing tracks in. I wrote out this lead sheet. I started the lead sheet, I think, last Thursday or Friday, and didn't have a chance to work on it again until this morning. So, and then kind of putting this rhythm track together. So hopefully gives you an idea a little bit of the tune. I'm not playing it in the key that we're going to be talking about it in. I'm going to stick with the Ellis Regina key. So we'll talk about that particular one, and we'll do a bit of analysis. So let me pull all that up, and we'll begin with this one, which should be B minor. But we're going to start on E minor, the E minor chord, which would be the 4 chord. All right, a real interesting tune, and a lot of fun to play on. Yeah, so let's get started with it. So just go over a few things that we want to do initially always is um, think about our tonal center, which we kind of talked a little bit about just now. So think about the key signature, and also think about um, the functions and everything. So that's kind of what we're aiming for, and then the form. Now, I was listening to several recordings of this. There's a good amount of material out there, but not a lot of artists. But so we have our composer, and I'm really gonna say this name wrong, I'm sure, but Chico Barque, um, and Ellis Regina, and I was checking out the trumpet by I think David Lynch. It sounded really good. So I was listening to several recordings. This is usually my process as well. On anytime I'm transcribing a tune or writing a tune or anything like that, I usually listen to um, as many recordings as I can find within reason. Um, but I like to have like 5 or 6, and then possible, and then I'm gonna pick my favorites, and then oftentimes what I do is I pick my favorite elements. So in a later video, we'll go over the Ellis Regina more specific chord changes are going to be a little bit different, but I wanted to create this as a baseline chord change based on what I heard Chico playing, or in his group anyway, in his recording. All right, so we have 2 sharps here. All right, so let's scan through. It's a little bit, I want to point out here that if I've got a repeat sign here, on the David Lynch, they always repeated back to this measure 9. But my instinct told me that this measure 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 might also be a possibility, so I'm going to put a question mark on that. Again, this tune's pretty new to me. Okay, so a little question on that. And let's scan through. So I've got this. Starting on B, we have this, let's see how many bars that is. That's 16, I guess 20 bars. And then looks like another 20 measures. So that's, I would say, kind of the bulk of the form, and then kind of embedded within that is kind of an A-B form. Or yeah, A, B, A, C. But I've just got these labeled as A, B, C, just sort of the larger sections. All right, so we have an intro. We start on the 4 chord. Okay, and then we go to, so let's say we have E minor. Now E minor over D basically have the same chord but a different arrangement of the notes. And what's important about that is the D note there on bottom. So I'm playing here 3rd inversion chord, and we get the C sharp minor 7 flat 5 forms a 2 chord. Okay. And then the F sharp 7 with a flat 9, which you could build that into it as well. Okay, now this technically you've got a 5 minor going to a 1 and a 4, but you might recognize that this next part is really kind of a 2, 5, 1 in an E minor. Okay, so that F sharp 7 becomes the F sharp minor 7 flat 5. And then we get the B7 flat 9 going over to E minor. You might play E minor 9. Okay. Now on the Elis Regina recording, the vocals, when the vocals start, actually it starts, I think, E minor 7 over D. Like I said, we'll try to get into more detail with some of that, but that's just a little detail there that I do happen to recall. So so we have a 4 chord. Okay, and then we have a 2, 5, and this time we're going to the 1 minor. Okay, we get a flat 6 going to a 5. C minor 7 flat 5 to B to F sharp 7, then going to the B minor 7 over A, going to the G7 into the F sharp 7. Okay, and then we're landing again on the B minor. Now we get a B7. So in the Chico recording I was listening to, they simply go from this minor chord and then they play the same chord as a dominant 7 with a flat 9. Now on the Elis Regina recording, I believe she plays an F9. So that's just a little bit of a detail, but you think about those tritone substitutions. So that would have been a tritone substitution that she may have chosen to use. We have a 5 of the 4 chord. Then we get to the 4 chord. Continue on with the 4 chord. All right, and then we have we have the 6 chord, not the it's kind of like a 2-5 in F sharp minor. So this is going to be a 2 dominant. Okay, and then we get the 2 half diminished to 5. And then that 2 half diminished chord, I wrote that over the G. Okay, so that play something like this. Okay, and then move into the F sharp 7. Okay, so B minor. Could play F9. It's a little more dramatic. You can play F minor 9. You can put the F minor 9 over the D. Okay, and then we get the G sharp half diminished, C sharp 7, flat 9, and then so that let's check that out. That let's see, this is F7. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, just double checking the work. So I get this, okay, and then we go into sorry, here we go. That's better. Okay, C sharp, minor 7 flat 5 over the G to the F sharp 7. Okay. All right, and then here's where things start to move a little bit for us into some just kind of different moves, different tonalities. So we have G major, which would again be the flat 6. Okay, and then we get a 2, 5. It's a pretty dramatic moment. And then we get the 2, 5 to 1 major. And then we get the 4 major. Okay. So we have this C, I'm thinking the other key there for a minute, but I have this G major 7. Okay, and then we play. And you could really play a major 7 there, or kind of marked as B6. Okay. Anyway, I wanted to point out some of the melody because it's just an important moment. Okay, and then we get A sharp minor 7 flat 5. So we get this 2 5 going to G sharp minor. So let's write that in G sharp. Maybe I'll use a different color. I'll write it in this key anyway first. Okay, so we get 7, 3, 6, 2, and then a 2 minor going to 5. So let's explore that a little bit. All right, so here we have a couple of little moments where here we play the G minor. We have a 2, 5, 1 in that key. And then we have this other functionality where this really kind of becomes a 2 in F sharp. Say F sharp there, and then 2, 5. Okay. And then, of course, we're back to a 2, 5 in our key. So a few 2 5s there. So we get the B major to the E to the A sharp minor 7 flat 5 to the D sharp 7 flat 9 to the G minor to the C sharp, and then C sharp minor 7 flat 5 over G to F sharp. Okay, so we really start out a similar way here. So we have the 1 chord. Now the 1 chord becomes major. It's dominant 7, so we'll call that 5 of 4. Okay, the 4 chord. Okay, and then we've got the 6, 2, and then minor 2, and then 5. Okay, and then we get this shift here to the flat 6 major. We get 2, 5. Okay, so here kind of similar. We have the 1, and we're cycling through it to the 2, 5. It's a pretty well established progression. This is just kind of a bass note. There are some variations on this too, but okay. Moving through there. All right, well, let's do a little more playing on this. Play around with this. Let's try it maybe a slightly different tempo here. And play through this chord progression for you here last time. All right, everybody. Well, thanks so much for checking this out. Hope you enjoyed it. And we'll do some more things with this tune and the Days of Wine and Roses as this week progresses. Have a great practice session today. I hope you're getting a good amount of practice every day. And I will see you all in the next one.